With us this morning is Meghann Cuniff, who's a legal affairs journalist in LA who covers celebrity court cases. Meghann, thanks so much for being with us this morning. His legal team clearly feeling like this is a win. Remind us why.
Absolutely. He was facing such a stiff life sentence if he was convicted of these counts. And the sex trafficking charges carried a mandatory minimum of 15 years. And these were heinous charges and heinous allegations against him. What he was convicted of, prosecutors emphasized that the crimes he was accused of there were illegal, even if everyone was consenting. Of course, prosecutors argued that the women Combs involved were not consenting, but jurors rejecting the trafficking and racketeering charges while convicting on the transportation charges shows that they convicted on that because it's illegal even if everyone consents. It seems like if they thought that the women weren't consenting, that would lead to a conviction on at least one of the trafficking charges, and we didn't see that. So his lawyers hailed this as really an enormous victory, and it's impossible not to see it that way.
Did the prosecution make a mistake in pushing for racketeering? Because some of the reporting around this suggests that might have confused the jury, who were already maybe leaning towards supporting him.
Yes, I think it's safe to say now, of course, in hindsight, that they did, now that there was an acquittal, but there were always questions about that charge. And some people have argued that perhaps pursuing that charge did distract from the trafficking charges, that maybe they could have secured trafficking convictions if they didn't pursue the racketeering charge. But it was a unique and aggressive application of the racketeering statute.
Tell us about the scenes in court, because, I mean, we're going from artist impressions and people that were there, but apparently he fell to his knees.
Yes, it was a dramatic scene from everything that I've heard. His family was whooping and hollering, and you've got to imagine the faces on the prosecutors as they're realizing this loss. Of course, his supporters were under the impression, hoping that he would walk out of the courtroom, but of course, his convictions do mean that he is facing some time, possibly as much as 5 years. Prosecutors put his range at 51 to 63 months, which is about 4 years, 3 months to 5 years, 3 months. So, and the way the judge was talking at the bail hearing, denying the bail hearing, it doesn't look good for him in terms of the judge favoring him. The judge had some harsh things to say about him.
Yeah, he said, and he used the defence's words against them, didn't he? Essentially saying, we know that he has got a bad temper and he can be a danger. He's domestic violence danger. Just tell us about what the feeling is around what's next for him, because obviously when this started, people were saying there's no coming back. Whether he wins this case or not, there's no coming back from this. That does not feel like the mood now.
Exactly. I think a lot of people were thinking that, and I was thinking to myself that the video, part of the trial was his bribery of security officials to try to thwart the video of him assaulting Cassie in a Los Angeles hallway that ended up getting out anyway. But the thought was that if that video came out, his career would be over. So that video has been out, and there's all this other stuff out there. But there was such a hub and support for him at the courthouse that I think that there could be some room for him somewhere. I'm not sure if we'll see him at the Grammys next year, but he definitely is going to have a prison sentence to serve. So I think it's a matter of dealing with that. And they need to, some people were criticizing his lawyers for being too bravado when they do have 2 convictions and a sentencing to deal with. So it could be 4 years or so, maybe 3 years before he is actually released from custody. And that's a lot of time to kind of figure out what he's going to do.
Meghann, thanks so much. Meghann Cuniff, legal affairs journalist in LA.